Today we are taking a look inside the first issue of Deathshroud from Rippaverse Comics. Deathshroud Forged in Shadows Part 1 from Rippaverse Comics. First thing to say is that this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest issue I have had from Rippaverse Comics so far, being close to 200 pages. The second thing I would say is, if you're a fan of Todd McFarlane's Spawn, you will quite possibly enjoy this, because we're in the same sort of area, by which I mean the characters in this are mostly beings of heaven or hell, and those characters that are connected to them. Our main character, John Azrael, discovers that he is half human and half archangel, a Nephilim, and his father is Death himself. Death sends his servant Sharon, boatman of the River Styx, to John to explain his origins to him and offer help, guidance and badly needed training with his new abilities, because as it turns out he is already being hunted by both heaven and hell. It also appears a plan is underway by agents of heaven and hell working together. Some great device called the Soul Blight Engine. Now this device will wipe out humanity, who will then be reborn as a race subservient to the servants of heaven. Now this seems to be some sort of scheme between certain archangels and Lucifer himself, and for some reason they believe the existence of John Azrael is a threat to their plans. Now, in between coming to terms with who he is and learning to use his new abilities and helping stop the plan to use the Soul Blight Engine, John Azrael must also try to protect the people that are close to him. I really enjoyed this. It's different to the usual type of comic books we see, although, as I said, it is in the same realm as the Spawn titles with their heaven and hell themed characters. Fortunately, I really enjoy Spawn and his associated title. Now, something struck me after reading the issue, and I don't know if this is intentional or if I'm just pulling this out of my head, but John Azrael becoming this Deathshroud character sort of parallels his being in the military. In both cases, he's had to undergo training. He's had to learn new skills, he's had someone there teaching and guiding him, and he ends up having to go into combat on dangerous missions. So, despite the weirdness of the situation he finds himself in, it must seem like familiar territory for him. As I said, I've probably created that parallel myself, but I did find the idea kind of interesting. As this story goes forward, I'm curious to see what sort of opponents he has to go up against. I'm hoping we get some interesting representatives of heaven and hell. I'd like to see agents of heaven appear in a variety of unexpected forms, and possibly, of course, warrior angels. As for the agents of hell, I'd like see some of them turn up as sort of weird and bizarre characters rather than just the usual demonic types. Maybe something like a demonic biker or a demon samurai, but that's just me. Maybe I'm getting carried away. All in all, I really enjoyed this. I liked the principal character, John Azrael, and the characters connected to him, not forgetting Sharon. And I can see this little group of characters working together as a team. So I'm looking forward to not only part 2, but also any possible future adventures after the conclusion of this particular storyline. So that was our quick look at the first issue of Deathshroud from Rippaverse Comics. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. For the time being, however, that is it for this video. Until next time, remember, hit the thumbs up below, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one.